G'day lads and welcome back to another video in the channel. Today I'm going to be giving my predictions for AFL's 2025 season, early bottom 10s for the teams that will be finishing off in 2025. Now before we get to this video, I wanted you guys to drop a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel so we can reach up to 1k this year as our next milestone goal. Now these predictions may be my guesses, so things will change by in the next couple, April, January, May, whatever. But without further ado, let's get into my predictions. Starting off from the wooden spoon, I've got Richmond to select in the bottom 10. Now, quite frankly, Richmond were looking dominant at the last season, fresh start, but then the injury has occurred them to have a bit of a difficult rounds to get a couple of wins, and that's why they have won 2 games only, and then that's why they're sitting finish off at bottom. And I think they're gonna have another wooden spoon is an difficult season to start off, and it's a pretty new side because they have a drafted pick, one of the 2 Richmond youngest players in the comp, but I don't believe for a fact that Richmond won't be able to get a couple games. But I think we're going to be seeing a quite different side, that Richmond is a completely new looks from the next 2 seasons. And matter of fact, they've lost a lot of players like Liam Baker, Daniel Rioli, and I don't know if Dustin Munn he left it to Richmond. But in all fairness, I think we're all going to be seeing these 2 young players for Richmond to give what they have and experiencing the biggest stage of all in next few rounds. So 17 players, I've got Adelaide Crows, which definitely or not, I did not see, or people will be seeing this. But to be fair, Alex Neil-Bullen will help a lot to the Adelaide Crows players to give the skill levels to them, as also James Peatling as well from the GWS Giants. But I do not see Adelaide Crows getting the best out of it to keep their structures on going. But if I'm being honest, they weren't really as active when it comes to draft pickings because they weren't that smart as per usual. But they were picking one draft, and that's C. Draper from the Adelaide Crows, the young player, of course. Like, he's gonna make a massive impact for the Crows, but I don't think there's a potential they will be winning a lot. For 16th place, I've got North Melbourne Kangaroos. Speculating, if I have to see this in 2027, I'm gonna predict that they might play finals, but overall they might stay like out of the bottom 2, which it would definitely puts North Melbourne not a big problem, because playing in, like, sitting in the bottom 2 is like the worst record. But I do see North Melbourne going to be playing a lot of more games, and they'll have a good games, and they're slightly to improve a lot. I know for a fact Caleb Daniels is now put into the North Melbourne jersey, and it will slightly help them a lot to give bit of some time to play a lot more finals. And in the near future, for 15th spot, I've got West Coast Eagles. Not gonna lie, I do see them getting out of the bottom 4, which there will be a lot more improvements, and they can have a lot of games that will be potentially on their way. But structural, they've lost their big defenders, one of the best defenders in the Eagles side, and that's Tom Barris, going to Hawthorn this year, which is happening for 2025. We do be seeing players like Matty Owens, who just recently being picked from Carlton and now coming to the West Coast Eagles to join the Western Australian team. I'll have to say, Holly Reid, he has been amazing. He's been sensational. Last season, he had a lot of games, a lot of disposals. He's been dominant. This young fella is going to have everything to inform of, and he can definitely help them and Matty Owens to build up a lot of more potential to play. The structures may build a lot, and that's why I've got West Coast Eagles to put in 15. We can all agree that everyone in this community for AFL, that we will see West Coast building that improvement, and we can jump up in the near future. At 14th spot, I've got my team, St. Kilda Saints. Now, this is probably an obvious reason, and I'll explain why, because we may have a games that we can produce a lot, but it's just really hard to get that structures on and the forms at the same time. And we have a really pretty weird records. I don't really necessarily think that we'll be able to play finals because we have lost Tim Membry and Josh Battle, which one of our best players, and I did mention about it on my St. Kilda review. And if we keep playing like the same style, like if we don't change it around a little bit, I don't think we are most likely to play finals. But I do expect to play like our best in our 100% efforts. But I think for the Saints, it's going to take a lot more years if we want to play like the biggest stage. If I'm predicting 2 years, I think will be the next liners to be playing finals. For 13th spot, I've got Essendon Bombers. This is the team that they barely missed finals, Essendon, when they were sitting around top 4, top 3, but then it slides to downfall. I just don't think I don't trust them playing finals because they've lost a lot. Despite their chances, it's just going to waste. They do create more chances that they've won and they prove a lot, but they're completely downfall when it's like near end of the regular seasons. But the Bombers do say they will promise to change these things up, but they just blow to that waste of that performance.
For 12th spot, I've got Gold Coast Suns. Now this is the side that they might sneak out away, like winning away from home, but the difference is that they can't win like away in games. We haven't seen like the Suns building up a lot more batters, but in 14 years the Suns has been trying out everything to get themselves a chance to play finals, but I think I might hold them back. John Noble and Daniel Rioli are the two newest players for Gold Coast Suns. They might have a massive impact and slightly a little bit of help for the Suns players to combine the skills in the game. If they don't address this form a little bit, then there's no consistency from the Gold Coast Suns. In the 11th spot is Melbourne Demons. Now the Demons have a bit of a strong side. They were completely dominant like the start of the season, but it started a bit downfall when the injury has been informed that Christopher Petrarco had suffered an ACL to sit beside on the bench for the rest of the season, and that's when Melbourne Demons were having a struggle to get a few wins in the records. They missed their finals last season after their loss against Collingwood at the end of the season, but who knows what will happen because Demons can turn on things a little bit. But the start of it, I think they're starting off with a few losses. But I do expect some consistency by Bailey Fridge and Jacob Van Roy and their key forwards. I want to see them providing and helping the levels a little bit. For 10th spot, I got Fremantle Dockers. This is the side that I would love to see a bit of a rise from them, but I just don't see them playing in the near future of the finals, but it just pushes them a little bit to give them some bit of a consistency. But I know for a fact Caleb Sarong, he's been impressive last season. He had created many disposals. He's had a high record with 47 disposals in his record, so I do see Fremantle winning more games, but overall in the near of the season I do predict that they might decide to go down and start finishing up 12 in the season. For 9th spot, I've got Western Bulldogs. Now this is the same prediction I did last 2024 AFL season. If you have a look, I'm going to be predicting the Bulldogs to finish off the 9th, which I'm going to be saying the same time. And I do expect like they might play like elite. Like I know Marcus Bontempelli, he's been another massive impact. He was the potential to win in the Brownlow medalist, but he's lost it, and I think he was placed in 3rd or 4th all round. I don't even remember. But Marcus Bontempelli, he's going to be making another massive impact in helping the Dogs to push up a precise lead. They might slide to the 9th position, which it's always Bulldogs starting to play well, but in the mid, they just started to downfall just quite. It was just that the Western Bulldogs has missed out the big opportunity, and they've lost like 3 best players like Jack McRae, Bailey Smith and Caleb Daniels, who are moving to a different separate clubs. There's 50-50 that they will be playing finals in the next season. Thank you guys for watching for my AFL bottom 10 predictions. Now this is the early ones, but I'm going to be going to the top 8 in the next week's video. If you guys want that, be sure to like this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. So stay tuned for the top 8 predictions. I'll see you guys in the next video.